You're such an asshole.
As is kind of somewhat common, not always that common, there's usually bigger underlying problems that lead to the problems people approach me with. Where it's like, Cappy, I got lung cancer. Well, did you smoke? Yeah, well, the smoking led to the cancer. I don't know what you want me to do with the cancer. And so let us, and the client included, but let's draw a larger lesson for everybody here today. It's you roll around with dogs, you're going to catch fleas. Very important lesson. A lot of innocent young men and women too, I guess, but a lot of you guys know somebody who is running with the wrong crowd. Somebody put pot and whatever in his pocket he didn't know, and now he's serving time in jail because you got in a fight. Now you're an accessory to robbery, whatever. You gotta know when you're hanging out with dogs and when you're catching fleas. And so now here comes a problem. Aaron, I got fleas. Well, stop rolling around with dogs. It's not your issue if other dogs have fleas. Hello, Aaron. I always assumed our family of 4 are pretty normal compared to other families and their drama. I'm 20, living in an apartment with the family. Do you see what I'm talking about? Why are you 21 living in an apartment with a family of 4? Now, he is of shall we say, ethnicity where this might be more common than your average American. You're in America. Stop it. We don't do that here. You should demand better for yourself. And you say, well, I can't afford it, which I'm somewhat understanding and lenient towards, given how the millennials voted for Obama to print off all the money that then reinflated the housing market, which also drove rents up that no one could afford rent anymore. Jesus fucking Christ, what are you doing living at home in an apartment of 4? It is not that hard to support yourself. It just isn't. And maybe you got to take college part-time, or maybe your education or your training might have to be pursued part-time or put on the back burner. But Jesus Christ, you live in an apartment with your family. It should tell you your parents don't know what the fuck they were doing. They made bad financial decisions. The key ones being you and your other sibling, if I do the math right, there's 4, having kids they can't afford. And that doesn't mean you don't love your father or your mother, but Jesus fucking Christ, will you stop rolling around with the dogs getting fleas? I have a brother who is on the high-end spectrum of autism, or maybe your dad just isn't paying attention. Dad works of he's a tradesman. We'll keep it there. There's no reason to identify. So basically, most of the time, he's not home. Oh, wonder why your brother's got issues. My mother does not work, but babysits on the side. Oh, babysits, huh? Like, because you and your brother are pretty much taken care of. Oh, we don't want to go back. That's the funny thing. Like, well, you could always go back to college after the kids are out of the house. And I'm going to babysit and eat my bonbons. You work at a job I very much like, and I'm very proud of you. This November, my suspicions / gut feelings of my mom cheating truly blossom. For example, being on guard when I'm near her while she's using her phone. My mom says her female friend is coming over, so boots me and my brother out of the master bedroom. You're living in an apartment. She kicks you out of the one room. She's telling a 21-year-old male to go to his room. Let me tell you about my hut I'm going to have in Croatia. That's just this going to be this rock hut, and none of you spoiled Americans are going to be, none of you. I'm going to participate in catfish or rutabaga fest, whatever the hell they got going on there in Croatia. And I'll wear my funny hat. I wait for this so-called female friend to come, but nothing comes of it. Never thought about it much until now. Another day happens, we're kicked out of the master room again. But instead, she's going to exercise. That is true because recently she has become much more of a health nut. Yes, she is cheating. She's getting dick from another man or men. But why boot us out for that, right? Here, I truly felt things were not lining up. Several days before this, I managed to get myself a hidden spy camera disguised as a pen. This is something of a James Bond movie. Thankfully, somehow I squeezed in some time to set up the camera in the room before I was truly closed off for good. The camera managed to catch an unknown man entering the window to our apartment, which is on the ground level. They recorded them fucking each other. Oh, God, I can't imagine. Wow, that's got to fuck with you, man. That's got to mess with your head just seeing that. I can't believe how ignorant I was about this whole thing. My mom even had the guts to do this under my nose while I was still at home waiting to leave to work for that day. This is the worst case scenario. For now, I'm holding off on showing my dad the evidence. I truly believe he deserves to know the truth. However, I'm hesitant to make any moves without some advice first. Before I forget, let me say that my parents are not married. Of course not. Of course not. Well, they're not married. So what? I mean, technically. And my brother is over 18. I'll pay for YouTube. How should I handle this from here? All right. First, you are in the world. We're going to go through Maslow's hierarchy of needs on this one. Okay, we're going to triage this. By part of your own choices, you're in a world where you are dependent on your parents. Okay? So, unless you want to be kicked out and really actually become a man and start supporting yourself and paying your own rent and all that, or maybe you have enough of a 3 to 6 months living emergency supply of money, you shut up. I don't care how wrong it is, you need a place to live. And until you find your own place and move out, there's nothing you can do or nothing you should do. Because on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you need to live somewhere. And I swear to God, dude, if you get a girl knocked up, I fucking find you and I will beat your ass. Just can you and your brother say it ends now? This bullshit ends now. Can you guys look into vasectomies for me, please? Just so you guys have a shot at escaping poverty, all right? So that you're not, 45 years old and your kids are 20 years old living at home too. Can you just promise me that? So that you are desperately dependent upon your parents. You cannot have them separate and divorce. Or I guess just separate. And you need a place to live. The first thing you need to do, one of two things. Either join the fucking military and get the fuck out of there and go live on base housing, which they're going to insist on anyway for at least 8 weeks. Or you go get yourself another job and you start living and supporting yourself in your own apartment. If you are not willing to do that, then I have answered your question. There's nothing you do. There's nothing you say. You leave or you stay there and you just suffer. When you leave, now you have another quandary or choice, decision facing you. Do you tell your dad? All right. And what I would really say is it doesn't matter because your parents sound like a bunch of fucking losers anyway. Your dad should probably know. Okay. I would even wait until your brother is out of the house and taking care of himself, which he absolutely can do. Oh, he's got a touch of the tism. No, even if he does, he's got to get a good job. Wait for that kid to get out of there. And then when your parents are an empty nester, yes, you should then inform your father. All right. But here's the thing. You're perfectly all right not either. I can't make this decision for you because, frankly, again, your parents are losers. So what? Your mom's fucking another guy. So what? They're not married. They're the type to have kids out of wedlock. I mean, we're talking deadbeat losers here. All right. The best thing your parents could ever give you is an instruction manual on how not to do things. I'm trying to wake you up to that. And that you don't become like they did. That you're not living in a fucking apartment with your 2 full-grown adult children, not even married, while the mom babysits. All right, you see? So I don't know what good telling your old man is going to do for either your mother or your father. I think he should know. Like if it was me, I'd inform him after your brother is out taking care of himself or after it's kind of understood that But in the meantime, no, this isn't even worth it. But so yes, I would, but keep in mind it's like a 52-40. I totally understand if you don't. What's it going to solve? Your dad might know, but is your dad ever going to leave her? The main thing is for you. Let's talk about what the main thing. This is not your responsibility. Other people's problems is not your responsibility. I don't care how close. You can't get any more closely related than your mom and your dad. You just can't. Still not your responsibility. Still not your business. Still not your concern. And given how they've really fucked shit up, I don't know if you even have any obligation to your dad at this point. I mean, you might want to let him know. But the larger point is you need to realize whether you tell your dad or not, it's not your fault, not your problem. You should have no guilt, no shame. You didn't do anything. Whether you tell your dad or not. Another thing is like if your old man sounds like he could do better. I mean, my wife, any girl I date after I had kids, or she had kids rather than we raised the kid, I'm going to babysit. The fuck you are. Not with 40% tax rates. You're not. Get your fucking ass into work. Real job, real college. I don't care. You're a nurse, accountant, doctor, whatever. You get your ass to work. And so I think your dad should be free of this woman, frankly. Obviously. But this is not a burden that you should shoulder. I don't even know if I'd tell your brother. Although I don't know what guy, were you watching your mom pork the other guy? I mean, were you both? I guess to me, the cat's out of the bag with him. I say you guys just get out of that house. Pull your dad aside once you guys are stable. But if you don't, you're fine, man. You're perfectly fine not. Perfectly fine not. Any super chats? Boom, that's it. Yeah, and then when your dad is like on the verge of tears and is shocked, then get him the book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of women, written by yours truly. Here, Dad, it's after the fact, but this would have helped. Oh yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later, Toodles.